Welcome to my channel, Usability. In today's video, I'll be talking about the part 1 of heuristics evaluation with a lot of interesting and simple examples which would help you to understand the heuristics guidelines more better. In my last video, I spoke about what is heuristics, the who, when, and how of heuristics. Also, I spoke about the first rule of heuristics, that is visibility of system status. So in today's video, I'll talk about the second, third, and fourth rule, that is match between system and the real world, user control and freedom, consistency and standards. So what is match between system and the real world? Remember one thing, the system should speak the user's language with words, phrases, and concepts which are familiar to the user rather than system-oriented terms or some technical terms which is very difficult for the user to understand. Let's see an example of real world and digital world. On the left hand side, if you see, there's a user holding the credit card, and on the right hand side, the credit card which is displayed in the mobile, it appears the same size in terms of the rounded corners, in terms of the numbers. If you see the name, they appear as per the real credit card. So it's easier for the user to recognize the credit card because they have seen this in real world. So this is called skeuomorphism design, which makes UI familiar to users by using concepts they recognize easily. Let's see another example of real world and digital world. On the left hand side, you see the traditional calculator which we use in real world. The user is typing on the buttons or clicking on the buttons. On the right hand side, if you see the digital world, that is in your mobile app, it represents the same kind of layout or same kind of color combination, same kind of experience what you see in real world. Another example would be like this, you see in this picture. So these icons depicts the real world objects into UI elements in form of icons like credit card, bag, wallet, delivery truck, add to cart, and shop or a home. Now let's see what is user control and freedom, the third heuristics. Users often choose system functions by mistake and will need a clearly marked emergency exit to leave the unwanted state without having to go through an extended dialogue support like undo and redo. Let's jump into the example of user control and freedom. You should always treat your user like a king, not like a slave. So if as a user I am seeing some pop-up window or a pop-up screen which says subscribe to my newsletter, blah, 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 and there's an email ID I need to enter, and there are two actions which says confirm or yes please, or the other action which is very important for me as a user which says no thanks, I'm not interested right now, maybe I would opt in it later. So as a user, you should always provide there's some exit door or exit window where user can opt out. So you should not force the user to sign in or opt in for your subscription. Maybe he's not interested right now to opt in. So you should always give an option for the user to opt in, to opt out, to accept, to reject, to cancel, to accept. I hope you got this concept of user control and freedom through this example. Now let's see another example. So it's kind of a confirmation message which a user sees when he has taken some action in the previous screen, like he would have clicked on some delete button or delete action. Post that, he would see this confirmation message or confirmation pop-up which clearly says or which clearly interacts with the system that this data would be deleted permanently. Are you sure you want to delete it? It gives the user two options, which for the confirmation, yes, I want to delete it. I have clicked that intentionally, or maybe the user would have clicked on that button by mistake. So there's another option which says cancel so that user can go to the previous screen. So always allow your user to take an action like undo and redo. Let them make their choice. instead of forcing them to make a decision. And the fourth heuristics, that is consistency and standards. So what do you mean by consistency and standards? Well, for a user using an app or a website, the user should have a similar experience while using your product. Like if a user is going through your home page or about us page or services or company page or your product page, the user should feel that he is on the same website or on the same product by seeing the similar kind of fonts, the action buttons, the colors, the layout, the spacing. That is very important for an user to hold on to your product. So now let's see some quick and interesting examples for this fourth heuristics, that is consistency and standard. In this screen, if you see the consistency in terms of the icons, in terms of the font size, in terms of the colors, the tones, it looks similar throughout all the three screens. Like the icons look from the same family, which is very important for a user. It would help them to trust on your app or on your product. Like in this example, if you see the website, it has the similar theme carried forward in terms of the, if you see the first fold on the left side and the second fold of the website on the right hand side. If you see the wave background, it's carried forwarded throughout the website. In terms of the colors, if you see the primary action buttons, it has a similar kind of border radius, the font size, and even the icons which you see on the right side on the second fold of the website, that is, they have used the line icons which is consistent in terms of the hover icons, in terms of the static icons. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video and the examples were really helpful, which would help to clear your concepts about the heuristics along with these examples. So now let's quickly recap what we have covered so far in my last video and today's video about the heuristics. So if you see, we have covered the first four heuristics, and in my next video, I'll be talking about the next three heuristics, that is error prevention, recognition rather than recall, flexibility, and efficiency of use. So thank you guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did and you would like to have more stuffs like this, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel Usability.